Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hello, peoples. Welcome to Sharp End. I wanted to do a quick review of this ultralight field knife that Bark River came out with. I believe that it's a fairly new design, came out within the last 6 to 9 months, something like that. I got the first production run, but I've noticed that they have another batch out, and so I just wanted to go over this. Don't be thrown off by my scales, my choice of scales. They have a ton of different kind of scale choices. First off, the profile of this knife is really classic. I like this, what I would call a swedge. It's just really, really pretty. I think they've only done 3V versions of this, and the Rockwell hardness on that is 60, which is fine for this. This has basically been sharp, and I've used it constantly. It has had an opportunity to get some patina here and there, but I find that I was just cleaning off, even if it does get a little bit of patina, it just comes off eventually. Um, the ergos on this are incredible, and it is an ultralight, which means it is 3/16, I believe, in thickness, the blade, rather than the standard 1/8 inch. To compare it, just to show you a couple of comparisons that might make some sense, this is the Bravo one. So you can tell it's shorter. It has a similar blade profile, but with a swedge. And the length, though, the length of the blade is about the same. It's just a little smaller, a little less beefy, right? And then let's just compare it to the Genesis. Again, the cutting length is about the same, but just an overall lighter knife, smaller knife, right? What I like about this is that it's just easier to use around the camp or smaller bushcraft type stuff, right? Now, I'm not going to go around and use this for batoning wood. I have used it for batoning kindling before, just small pieces, but that's a whole different game. As far as like just going around the campsite, uh, bushcrafting, and just having a nice little knife on a day when you're barbecuing, this is great. Um, I don't mind 3V. I actually kind of like 3V. I think it's a really good, nice tool steel, but some people might have a problem with that. But I think right at 60 HRC, if it really is at 60 HRC, it's got some really nice toughness and some really nice characteristics, and it's going to stay sharp for a very long time. I've never sharpened this knife. I've stropped it a couple of times. Let's see how it's doing right now. Yeah, so it's still very good, and I've definitely used it. It's been a user. This, by the way, is green and yellow maple burl. And when I saw this on the site, I went ahead and got it. It's funny because with DLT, you do a pre-order sometimes, or if you don't do a pre-order, everyone else does a pre-order. And the pre-orders that don't get paid for, but have special handle materials and stuff like that, if they don't get paid for, they just come up on the site. I believe this must have been the case with this. Someone spec'd this out on a pre-order, and then when it came time to buy it, didn't, for whatever reason, and then it came up and I saw it and I got it. I'll tell you right now on DLT, there's a toxic turquoise or a turquoise maple burl that looks absolutely amazing. And if I didn't already have this one, I would have gotten that because the scales on that are incredible. Anyway, that's my short little review of the ultralight field tracker. I think it's definitely worth checking out. If you want a more practical scale handle that isn't as artsy as this, they have them there too. There's going to be a link down in the description. I don't get paid for any of that. I just thought I'd bring it to people's attention that this is available again. And if you didn't get it on the first production run, you might as well get one now because I think that they're definitely worth it. Thanks so much for joining me today. And if you want to become a Patreon member, go ahead and follow the link down below. And you can also become a channel member here on YouTube. I do a monthly giveaway. I have very few patrons right now, Patreon members right now. So chances are you will win a knife if you become a Patreon. I will see you next time on Sharp Ends. Bye-bye now. Have a great Labor Day weekend.